Now then, people, and welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show. I have just returned home after a victory. Well, it feels like a victory. This is what I'm saying. People probably think they were over-egging it after getting a point against the Wolves side at home, but it felt like a win today. It was a huge point for Leeds United, especially when you consider the current form that we find ourselves in. I can't lie. I celebrated it like it was a win. It was pivotal. I mean, we'll dissect the game, but a lot of it for me came from just the buzz in the crowd. It was vitriolic at time, and that was due to the gamesmanship or just absolute cowardice of Wolves, trying to prolong the game. I say prolong the game. Time waste from the 15th minute, from around about the 15th minute. Sarr, the goalkeeper. Let's not even get on Conor Cody. Like, that absolutely grinded my gears. The fact that this guy took a ball in the face and was on the deck for it. Now, I get it, head, all that sort of stuff. But literally 5 minutes later, he's heading the ball. Why is he not going down in that? Conor Cody does this a lot. It was an absolute joke, the way that Wolves behaved throughout the game. I've seen a take on Twitter by a Wolves fan saying, absolutely love the shithousery from Wolves, but it means now we've got 96 minutes. And then guess what happens? Leeds United score within added time, and it was well-deserved. The referee was an absolute shambles as well. Honestly, the amount of time wasting, the kidology, the going down, the cramp. Like, footballers, for me, you can't be going down in the centre of the pitch for cramp, man. I'm just not having it, especially when you just know that it's there to try and waste time. There was a period within the second half when we had so much momentum, and it just fell because they just took the piss. But thankfully, Leeds United got through that. The crowd got behind the team. Not that we ever don't. I'm not saying that. But the noise for me was the best it's been all season. Absolute limbs, absolute scenes, wacko chants. And we always know when that one gets going and the whole crowd gets involved. I was disappointed I didn't have my scarf. It was cold. I had to buy this new jumper. But I was disappointed I didn't have my scarf. I had to take my hat off my head and just use that. But when the whole crowd starts doing wacko, it is unreal. And Bielsa's spoken about it. Everyone's spoken about it. We were literally that 12-man. Young Joffrey Geldart, we'll get onto him in just a second. He was talking about how, he felt numb. He felt numb when he came onto the pitch and seen and felt the atmosphere. It was bouncing today. As I say. Just a great performance as well. I said pre-match, as long as we get a performance, regardless of result, I'll be happy. Now, had we have not, got anything from the game, of course, I'd have been disappointed and I'd have been frustrated on my way home. And maybe, 24 hours later, I'd have looked back and said, yeah, performance, but we got something from the game, which was huge. Wolves didn't really get going. They huffed and puffed. They offered little. They tried to spoil. Of course, they get fortuitous with the goal as well. What's Jack Harrison doing in terms of trying to challenge for the ball? And it's come in the box. Jimenez has had a strike. It's fell favourably to Hwang Hee-chan, who's in hot form, right place, right time, and he scores another goal. And they didn't deserve it at that point. And you're thinking, oh, my God. And look, the first half, we were still good. Rafinha bossed it. Rafinha bosses every game when he's involved. The guy just seems to be getting better. Every time he gets the ball, you just know that he's not going to lose it. I mean, let's just talk about Rafinha. Obviously, he's been seen on crutches after, I think it's Romain Saiss with the challenge on him. Why is VAR not checked that? Can someone please explain to me why VAR's not checked that? It looks like it's a serious injury, ligament damage. It looks, his ankle's like this. It's a leg breaker, an ankle breaker, and it doesn't even get looked at. Are we surprised? Dan James must be going in the dressing room going, what's going on here? Because when I was at that team across the Pennines that wear red, we'd sneeze and we'd get penalties. And my teammates and me are going down in the bottom. I mean, we got a penalty, thankfully. We did get a penalty. Joe Geldart with an absolutely unreal run, tore them up. He almost scored the winner as well. Young Joffrey Geldart, wow, what a talent. The link-up between him and Rodrigo was class. Rodrigo was good again. And I'm just so glad to see a performance after what happened at Southampton. And now I'm bouncing again. Now I'm buzzing again. Because, look, it had, and a big shout out to my friend Lucy, who did the midweek fix. You know, she said it could be another Nottingham Forest-Brentford moment. Who can forget after Nottingham Forest, we went down to Brentford, we never do well. Kiko makes a mistake, Ben Rama scores, but we come back, we have an excellent performance, we get a draw and we kick on. That feels like this. That feels like this for me. Norwich up next. Well, we've got Arsenal, then Norwich, then Leicester. Let's go now. Let this kickstart our season. It has the potential to do that for me. It really has the potential to do that for me. The way we lined up as well, a lot of people were excited seeing Rafinha, James and Harrison behind Rodrigo. James was playing centrally though. I mean, James played centrally in that first half. Didn't really work. Didn't really work. And when balls were coming up, Conor Cody heading them. I'm surprised he didn't end up on the deck and get stretched off mine when he was headering these balls. But, you know, it didn't really work for me. He cut an isolated figure in that role. I mean, he's tiny, isn't he? He's tiny. Strauch, much better today. Much better today in the CDM. Although, I can't lie, at half-time, if Calvin's on the bench, I said, get him on. Get him on. Let's take Strauch off. Seems a bit of a strange one to have him on the bench. Maybe it's just to fill out numbers. Maybe it's just to fill out numbers. But, yeah, I was calling for that. I can't lie. I also was calling for Dallas. And that's mad because I was saying to my mates that I go with, Dallas has been pants. Dallas has been pants. He's been pants all season. He's done. He's done out here. And he's now getting calls for man of the match. And people have questioned that. But look at that first half. I just didn't think he was great. He trying little flicks, back heels, tricks. Technically, he's not the best anyway. When he's trying it off and he's not in the best form, it just looks woeful at times. But believe me when I say this, the second half, Dallas was immense. Dallas was immense and back to the Stuart Dallas that I know and love. So more of the same, please, Stuart, because I thought he was absolutely fantastic in that second half. The season starts for us now, man. The crowd was immense. Rafinha was immense in that first half. Hopefully the injury's not that bad. But Joe Joffrey Geldart, man, let's talk about that boy. Came on, the link up with Rodrigo, and he had the strike as well. He had a strike where he was put through by Tyler, I think. And it's just his tip with power, right decision. Sarr makes a great save, but he was causing all sorts of problems. He has to start against Arsenal. And if Bamford's not fit against Norwich, he has to start. A lot of people will call for him then, but we need Bamford back. Let's be honest. If we can get our squad back, Bamford, Rafa, Calvin, plus everyone else up a level, we're going to be fine. Not concerned one bit. Not concerned one bit. And it's mad how a game can just flip it on its head and we've not even won it. But think back to that Brentford performance. It's similar sort of vibes. But Joe Geldart won the penalty, took on about 3 or 4 Wolverhampton players, was brought down in the box. Okay, they're saying it's soft, but it was a penalty and nothing more than we deserve because the referee had an absolute shocker. I mean, there was one where Raul Jimenez, he took a dive from Cooper. He also tried to get Dan James sent off by diving into his high leg. Where was the card? Why was he not told? People who were watching it on TV wouldn't have been privy to this, but Cooper had a right go at him towards the end of the game when they had a corner, and they tried to keep it in the corner before we'd scored. Cooper going, you, man, you. And I was loving it, man. I was going, get him told, Liam. And big shout out, Liam Cooper, because as always, he gets so much bad press, but he's had a fantastic season. He's been great this season, and he was immense again today. Adama Traore, tricky. Jamie Shackleton, Cooper dealt with him. Big shout out, Jamie Shackleton. Jamie Shackleton is about 5 stone piss sweat through, and he was able to deal with Adama Traore. Big shout out, Jamie Shackleton and Liam Cooper, both of them immense. Llorente goes without saying. You know, Dallas second half, much proved. Loved it. Strout, good. I thought Click, not great game for Matthias Click. It's unfortunate because not everyone's in form at the same time, and that's what we need. We need that form back, but Click wasn't great. Tyler came on at half-time. I've seen people unhappy with it, hear it, this then. I get it. And look, there's about 4 or 5 times he passed it out of play or made the wrong decision. Yeah, really frustrating. Really, really frustrating. But the minutes of these players will probably reduce once we get a full squad back. Let's talk about Somerville. Came on, absolutely smashed it. You know, drove at the Atinuri all day down that right-hand side. They're growing into it. We can't expect it to happen overnight. Somerville's, for me, is flattered to the deceived. However, today, exceptional. Joe Geldart, exceptional. Won't be long before we see Greenwood, McKinstry, and then the squad gets better. And that's why Bielsa has these methods, right? Bielsa has these methods of a small squad. And for us, when we're going through a bad patch, it looks bad. But when they start to get game time and start to come in, it's a squad. Do you know what I mean? If that makes sense. Yeah, man, I'm just absolutely buzzing. I can't lie. Point, yeah, I know it's only a point, but, we controlled the game. Bielsa said himself, we controlled the game after the initial minutes of both halves, created about enough to win the game. And that, you can't, we should have won the game. We could have won the game. Not should have, we could have won the game. I think I was a little bit suspect about his 96 minutes as well, if I'm honest, because we got the penalty within that time. And I always put my stopwatch on for the minutes. People around me, how long's left, Joe? I always do it on my watch. And he blew it on the 96th. But the penalty was given, so we should have had more. And I think we could have gone on and won the game. 10 more minutes we would have, because the crowd was pulling that in. The noise was exceptional. Backs against the wall. And the referee and Wolves had a part to play. They were their own worst enemy. Because by doing what they did from the 15th minute, the referee had a shocker. I don't even think the Moutinho free kick was a free kick. Didn't look like it where I was from. But all they did then, the crowd just, boom. I was angry. Like at halftime, I was annoyed. And the anger just continued to grow. And you know what it's like when you're giving it players. And then for us to get that winner, I keep saying winner because it feels like one. But for us to get that equaliser, it was such a release. It was absolute scenes at Elland Road. Absolutely buzzing. And buzzing for the likes of Geldart, for Greenwood, for Dallas' second half performance, for Cooper. Wolves offered little. They were on a 3 winning streak, flying after they beat Villa. Good side. I still think they'll push for Europe. But it was just Shady Man coming, getting a goal against the run of play, and then spoiling and trying to waste time from the 15th minute. And then the fans also buzzing about that. Nah, that's not what it's about for me. Shocking behaviour. And then you end up getting yourself 6 minutes at a time, and we get an equaliser within that time. Buzzing. I can't lie. It feels like I can enjoy football. I can watch Liverpool spank Man United tomorrow, and that's even going to give me a perfect weekend. We've got Arsenal on Tuesday. Play the kids, man. Play Geldart, play Somerville, play McKinstry. Put them all in there, Buzzing, man. I feel like we're back. Because after Southampton and the Watford result, people were like, well, Watford are rubbish. And they were. I mean, they've won 5-2 today, and I get it. So it's sort of like an isolated thing. But that's a good Wolves side. And we were by far the better side. And had Rafinha stayed on the pitch longer and not been took out, how that's not a red card, look, if you think back to the Harvey Elliott situation, it's a similar. How's that not looked at again? Because are we saying that Rafinha has to literally break his ankle in order for that to be looked at and be deemed a free kick? I think the player, I think it was Romain Saiz, got a yellow card, but not even for the challenge, for the handball by all accounts. It's insane, man. It's insane. I just hope and pray Rafinha's okay. He might get himself in a bit of hot water as well, because he's come out and said, I thought Premier League refs were supposed to be the best on his Instagram. Could get him in hot water. But I understand his frustration, because he's probably in pain. I mean, that guy in the first half was exceptional, by the way. Jack Harrison had an effort in the first half that he should have cut back, and we'd have scored from that. Jack Harrison wasn't great again. Click, not great. But the others, Dallas second half, immense. Can't really pick a man of the match. I'm going to back... I'll tell you what, I'm going to give it Cooper, because I'm just going to back my boy, because he gets too much stick, and he was immense again against a very difficult side. Pre-match, let's hear it. Hwang Hee-chan, what's that now? 4 goals in about 6 games. Traore causes all sorts of problems. Raul Jimenez, Podence came on. These are decent players. And Cooper stood up to that test. The backline stood up to the test. They get lucky with a goal. They get lucky with their goal. But for me, it feels like a win. And this will kickstart our season now. I do believe that. Norwich got hit for 7. And I know I've been saying that. I am still petrified that we'll give them their first win. But we shouldn't be. We shouldn't be. That's just my Leeds United nerves. They got spanked 7 by Chelsea. Let's do the same. I'm not saying we'll get 7, but let's create and create and create like we know we can and take them chances. I know everyone's performed great today, and people will say Geldart you need Bamford back in that side. We need Calvin back in that side. There's not a case for Elland at the minute because Shackleton's been immense, and he was immense again today. But let's get these players back. Give us more options. Geldart and Somerville are options now. You know, they're not that they ever weren't, but when I've seen Somerville come on for me, flattered to deceive, not today. Thought he ripped it up like he does in the under-23s. Buzzing, man. Honestly, I'm buzzing. I'm going to enjoy my evening now. I'm going to get myself a pizza, watch match at day, and then watch Man United get spanked tomorrow by Mo Salah and Liverpool. Fingers crossed. Thank you, as always, for watching this video. Make sure you smash a like on it. Give me your thoughts in the comments. Yeah, subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. It's going to be a busy few days because obviously we've got Arsenal. You know, yeah, man, mad. And then we've got Norwich, all that sort of stuff. So keep it locked on the Just Joe Football Show as per, and I'll see you in a bit. Peace out. Leeds.